Good evening, free enterprise fans, and welcome to another Lali-Ho League race between BadKarma and EngiDave. My name is Vitasia, and I'm joined tonight by my good friend Hupfin. How are we doing tonight, Hup?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
It's another wonderful evening of the Lali-Ho League. We have some interesting flags tonight. We're with on our wonderful partner channel over here at Randomania 2. There's just a lot of good free enterprise tonight going on.
Yeah, quite a few matches. We were saying earlier, this just everyone seems to want to do Wednesdays, and fine by us. And two of the people who are doing the Wednesday clearly will be BadKarma and EngiDave, taking on each other in a one win, 2 loss. This is the elimination match for these two. Assuming there is an actual winner and loser, and there isn't a tie, whoever loses will be mathematically prevented from getting into the second stage of the tournament. So it's a very important match for both of our runners.
Absolutely. It's one of those matches that you look to see if any of them are, if there's going to be any sort of change in styles. Early on in the tournament, you see a lot of people playing things maybe a little bit safer, doing the mathematically correct checks that you have to go through. Early parts of the game are generally looking very similar, but as you get closer and closer to elimination, the desperation starts rising. So in order to win some of these matches, sometimes we might see just some crazy gambles out there in order to catch up and win. We'll be interested to see if either of these runners end up going that route this time.
Yeah, and looking at our start here, we are starting with Atella, so once you go bother with Ordeals, that is a pretty solid and pretty safe utility character early on, but you're probably going to want to get rid of him, especially for that Fusoya that you now know is in the game thanks to Objective 4. That's just a straight upgrade.
Yeah, just plainly better in every single capacity, except for possibly like within the first five boss fights of the game. After that, absolutely. But get Fusoya and get Rosa. So this is going to be kind of a magic heavy team, at least with our starting Tella even. It'll be real interesting to see where we go. Tella is one of those characters that has a lot of utility, especially in the early to mid game. Might even be worth keeping around as an anchor once you get to that point. And we're also treated with, okay, we have a Rosa here. Now help us, because we were talking about this before the game, right?
Yeah, this is a Rosa. This is absolutely a Rosa. This does not clear Objective 5. We don't start progress on any objective until after we have launched the Enterprise, so your first two characters don't count. We did see that we have Bahamut in the Baigen spot, and we received the Tower Key, so that is not going to be useful until we have a way underground.
Yep, so knowing that this Rosa doesn't count means that one of our 3 duplicate characters is going to have to be a Rosa in order to get that. Now, so that means there's guaranteed 2 Rosas and a Fusoya out there, at least one. So very, very heavy mage mix right now in our available party members.
Yep, and we see both runners heading off to the Watery Pass. I would say, Vitasia, does it lean when you know you have a mage-centric group? How does that influence your looting? Are you more concerned about getting better gear early, or is it more about the levels since they are mages?
I think for me, particularly early, it's about the quality of it. I'll probably keep looting, but if I happen to find a lucky Stardust Rod early, I'm good until out Ordeals. Then I will back off and not do a whole lot of looting after that. Until we get to some of the higher areas and start fleshing out our party a little bit more. We see both of our runners actually they're going deeper here into this Watery Pass. Now, Watery Pass does have some better loot than everywhere else. The key to making this attractive, though, is that we don't have to walk out. We can kind of full clear this area and use that exit spell that Tella has to be able to get right back to the entrance. Some runners, when you have a Tella start, will opt to do this just because of the quality of gear that you can get so early on in the game. But it is a time investment, so you have to take that with a grain of salt.
Yep, that is a byproduct of our T Wildish flag that we have for this phase. We're seeing things like the White Spear here, which is pretty high quality loot. And, that can happen regardless if you're doing T Wild. If you're doing T Wild-ish, places like this that are more of a time investment, more of an effort to get to, you have a better chance of getting those good items, those good drops. I'm saying this is good as if we have a cane. We don't have a cane yet. We might never get a cane, but you know what I mean.
I mean, if you do find a cane, it's a fantastic pickup because of early equipment. We did also see a black sword. There's a curse ring that's guaranteed to be kind of a rock star there at the end of the game, especially if we have a mage heavy party just to help get things lining up properly. But both BadKarma and EngiDave are just right next to each other in terms of their routing at this point. BadKarma is going right over here to Mount Hobbs, going to see what this other character is. Meanwhile, EngiDave is going to be going over here to Damsian. Almost forgot the name of the spot to start with. Damsian. So we'll go ahead and get this. Now, this is an interesting play, going ahead and getting the hovercraft while you're in this part of the world. There's also some treasure in the basement that a lot of runners like to pick up. Not that it's necessarily better loot, but it's absolutely denser loot that's in the basement. And we have a Rydia up on Mount Hobbs with a Pain Man blocking the way. Dark Knight.
Yeah. This, I honestly don't know how hard this is going to hit, but if anyone's going to survive, it'll be Tella. Actually, yeah, this is looking like pretty safe and survivable. Rydia, not so much. But that is a free third character.
Free third character and, pretty decent chunk of experience. If you can get Rydia up, will absolutely help with Rydia's levels, at least in this early mid-game. Not to mention, Rydia is going to give us, if we head over just right next door to the other side of Mount Hobbs, will give us a free summon just to knock out that ice.
Yep, and of course that free summon can be many things from Rydia's repertoire, not the highest tier stuff like Bahamut. But if you manage to pull a free Sylph or a free Asura, it's pretty handy to have around.
I mean, when we already have guaranteed one Rosa or guaranteed second Rosa and a Fusoya, I don't know how helpful Asura is going to be, but some seats. Yes, some seats. I've used White Mage Rydia before. It's perfectly acceptable.
I mean, when you can't get her big boobs over there, you go for the big healing instead. Honestly, anything's better than rolling bomb.
Meanwhile, we see EngiDave is skipping at least a couple treasure chests here in the Antlion Cave. BadKarma is clearing out the treasure chests that are in that dense location in the basement. Saw at least a Thunderclaw pickup. So that'll be nice if we end up needing an Edge or Young. And this is quite possibly the worst boss that we could hope to see with a Mage Heavy party.
Yep, Valvolus has pretty high evade and pretty high magic defense in quite a few locations. This is enough of one of them that EngiDave is out of town.
We're pointing out that logically, in the Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise background, your access into the underground absolutely cannot be blocked by Volvalis, Golbez, or Wyvern, I believe.
Yes. Dark Knight Cecil can also not block it, depending on your flag set. This is not one of those, and plus, we already learned that DKC just blocks Rydia.
And looks like that free summon is a Cockatrice summon. Well.
That's pretty high on the Womp Womp list.
Oh, but hey, there's an Asura. That's right there. Now, Cockatrice does have its niche uses. Like, it casts stone on the entire enemy party. So for those non-boss fit fights, it's worth it. I mean, it is kind of a long cast time, but it does help you get through those fights just a wee bit faster if you have the MP.
Partly why it's such a long cast time, I say that as if there's any correlation. It not only casts Stone, it casts Gradual Petrify and slightly faster Gradual Petrify. All three of them. There's no need to do that, but it does it.
Like, I just thought a Stone would be okay. Like,
I would think so too, but
looks like BadKarma is also going to be doing a little bit of looting. We'll see if it's going to be as thorough as EngiDave did. Remember, Dave did go in there, free clear, save, and then left. It looks like BadKarma is going to skip most of the deep looting in Antlion Cave and is going to have, still a mage party for Vivalis. This is not an easy fight. No matter how you shake it. But we'll have the Dancing Dagger on Rydia, so we'll be able to help out a little bit there.
Yeah, when we saw Dave in there, he was swinging with the Power Staff for about 100 a swing, which is not great. But this spot only has 1,000 HP, so it's doable.
At this point, we're going to have Rydia checking some potions and getting really lucky with a 1 HP hit on Rosa there. So yeah, staff bonks all around. This is one of the more unusual Val fights that you see.
Dave, meanwhile, is going straight over to Fabul, not going to bother with Valveless for the time being. Going to see if there's a fight here that's a bit friendlier. But that is BadKarma through the Valveless fight. For one half of objective number 3.
That's significant. EngiDave's going to have to remember to go back and get it just because of how it's not an easy fight, but Antlion is one of those locations that you have to do at some point in the race. It's just too easy not to do. It's effectively a fight once you get past level 20.
Meanwhile, Dave is fighting Pale Dim, which is less of a free fight, depending on where it is. This should be a manageable location. Just keep your healing up.
Meanwhile, BadKarma took a peek into the final boss of the Watery Pass, did find the Evil Wall. That's good intel right now because we know we're not going to find the Evil Wall elsewhere. The difference is that we don't have any real boss hunts outside of the standard D-Mist. Both of our other objectives are character hunts. So it'll be interesting to see how that determines routing at this point in time. You're obviously going to have a higher priority on character location checks, places like Baronin, places like Dwarf Castle. Earth Crystal would be an almost automatic go to get.
Mm-hmm. I did see BadKarma is over in Fabul doing a bit of shopping, a bit of inventory management. Very important in this flag set. We had found crystal armor, and he's already gotten rid of it. Crystal armor prevents Berserk. There are ways around that. It's Cecil's best armor. There's a bit of a statement being made there.
Yes and no. Cecil, crystal armor is not the game breaker that a crystal sword is. It's great money. And yes, there's ways around the Berserk blocking, but it's also great money. And yeah, it gives you certain invulnerabilities and allows back row Cecil to be an amazing defender, but it's a lot of money.
I think it's fair to say that having a good amount of money is critical on these seeds. It sounds like that's a strong consideration.
For me, yes, it absolutely is. And I think for a lot of runners, being able to purchase whatever you need to early on is definitely beneficial. And the king of the Bull is insulting us right now. He's saying, All mages, huh? Here's an Avenger sword. Have fun.
Avenger Sword being the way that you get around Crystal Armor blocking Berserk. But yeah, we have nobody who could use that right now, and no indication of any such character showing up. So that might just be sell fodder as well.
I don't think we're going to immediately sell it like we did the Crystal. I hope not, anyway. If
Assert dominance.
I was going to say that would be absolutely asserting your dominance over the seed right now. EngiDave gets his Cockatrice summon learned. We'll see if he ends up diving back into Antline Cave now. Has a few more levels, might be a little bit easier. I mean, BadKarma picked up a Sylph in the other side, and I don't know if EngiDave picked that up.
I don't believe Dave did. So that is another strong part of the White Mage Rydia kit, but it also is a damaging spell. So even if you're not leaning on her as your healer, it's still good to have around.
Early game, it can do wonders against lots of bosses. It goes right through walls and things like that, and I believe it would even impact some of that magic defense there. Most importantly, I think more than anything, is the Sylph glitch that is activated. That as long as Rydia isn't in the middle spot and has the MP to cast it, Sylph is free to cast.
Yep, and very useful. And also useful, Dave diving into Baron Inn and found Rosa chatting with Kanazo. So if he can get through the second fight, the first one should be smooth sailing. But if he can get through the second one, that's an objective on the board.
True. God, Zerker Rosa at that point in time just doing that. Elven Bow on BadKarma's side.
Ooh!
He missed bonus round.
Now, this is great information and a terrible sight because, yeah, D-miss punch. So getting through this fight is going to be difficult. Dave may have to come back a little bit later, but now Dave really wants to come back.
Everything is one-shotting EngiDave. This is going to be very, very rough for Dave right at the moment. Has taken 3 hits at this point, so we'll have an opportunity to get everyone up. 3 hits, missed phase, give you a little bit more time to get everyone up and do everything you can. It's doable. It's going to be slow, though, for a long time.
Yeah, this is a heavy commitment, but it's demist and it's an objective behind it. So it probably feels worth doing.
I 100% agree. It does feel worth doing. On the other side, BadKarma is going up Mount Ordeals. Now, right now, it's 3 bosses and an objective. I don't hate the skip Ordeals play that Dave is doing. It'll be interesting to see Karma taking advantage of that Sylph immediately.
Yeah, I feel like Karma's routing mindset here is you've got Tella. Tella is going to be important to your party for the early game, maybe into the mid game, depending on how character roles go. Make them stronger. Make them really good.
Dave is struggling mightily. Demist is one-shotting his Rosa and Tella, who are in the front row. None of his party is back row glitched, I don't believe. Rydia is the only one sitting up in the back row. I think with a little bit more preparation, Dave would have a whole lot easier time on this particular fight. But otherwise, he's going to be struggling here for a little bit.
Yeah, setting up these blinks may be the way to go, assuming they hit. But BadKarma is probably not going to get around to this until after finishing Ordeals, at which point he'll be in a much better position, levels-wise, and Tella spells-wise.
All right, so gotten some blinks rolling. Meanwhile, Leg, Mr. Rubacante himself, is over here on Mount Ordeals in the back attack spot. We have already seen one glare shot, but Sylph is otherwise doing all kinds of work right here.
Yeah, solid 700 hit. There was a heal there, but who cares? It's doing good damage and getting BadKarma through.
All right, so down goes boss number 2. BadKarma is moving on to the key item location. Is going to safety save. It's a low damage spot, but there can be a couple mean bosses that show up here that you don't necessarily want, even with the full heal.
Yeah, Ogopogo is perfectly valid to show up and is not the worst, but going down to half health immediately is annoying at best.
Rat tail. Okay, so we got a couple tails that would be fantastic to turn in with a Dr. Luge, which, fine, okay.
Yeah, speaking of annoying, but Dave is through, clears that D-Mist fight, picks up the hook for his troubles. So that is objective number 5 for EngiDave. BadKarma really needs to go over and do that, but has to have a chat with the doc first.
Well, this will be interesting because now Dave has, a quad mage party, which, okay, we'll go with that, but is going to have to deal with a Val, and which we know has the pink tail, and then the rat tail that's located up on Mount Ordeals. That's realistically something that you have to do. Is going to remember to turn in Rydia's mother, who is going to give us our extra key item for that bonus round, and it is
required. That Baron in fight is just massively necessary.
So let's talk about how horrible of an idea this is. The Twin Harp location has one of the best magic defense spots in the entire game. And we're sitting with a couple of roses, a Rydia, and an underpowered Tella, which EngiDave is looking like he's going to go get powered up right now. So, nice, but this party is not well set up to handle that Twin Harp location at all.
Absolutely not. That is an objective that you can go do. You can clear objective number 1 the moment you've talked to Rydia's mom. I wouldn't be surprised if either of our runners never do objective number 1. Or if they do, they wait a fair long time for it.
I'm waiting at least until I see a heroin robe out there. I need something a little bit more to get me through that, just with how horrible that particular spot can be in terms of its magic defense.
Although it is a moot point for this seed, but if you happen to get Odin in Cave Magnus, lightning still does a lot of work.
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, that's always nice to see. But he's on Mount Ordeals today, so whatever.
If I'm EngiDave, I might even be going over here to Cave Evelyn. I don't want to open any chests quite yet, but I want to know what that other party member is, because if it's a Fusoya, hallelujah, I'm not entirely, I have another objective, and 2, I feel a little bit more confident in my damage output right now. Or it's a melee fighter of some sort, and then I might feel a little bit better about maybe trying that Magnus Cave.
Yes, but in the interim, we do have BadKarma doing this D-Mist fight. We're seeing Virus thrown out from Tella. Plenty of archery from his Rosa. The damage numbers are substantial. That fight was over and done right quick.
It's an immediate time save from BadKarma, just simply for having a little bit more powered up Tella at that point in time. Receives the hook. In addition to the rat tail that he ended up finding out on Mount Ordeals, does seem to indicate that, it'd be real easy to go turn both of those in right now. I mean, checking Rydia's mother on the way, I would assume.
Yes, I would hope. And yep, immediately going and doing that. We've had too many instances, runners forgetting it. We've all individually done it far too many times. You do it once, and you start kicking yourself about it.
Why do you got to give me flashbacks, huh? Come on. Ow.
Hey, I do it too. The best part is when you do it on a mystery seed and you realize, an hour later that you forgot to talk to Rydia's mom, and it was free key item, so she didn't have anything anyway.
So BadKarma is going to be the first one to answer that question. Not only turn in the pink tail for objective number 3, but also turn in the rat tail as well.
And it's vanilla, it's classic, it's the adamant rock.
Ooh, vanilla.
But that Dragoon Spear makes objective number 3 complete for BadKarma, as he is now halfway to objective number 2 as well. We're getting these cleared out surprisingly fast.
I mean, let's think about it. We have 2 objectives already done, a third one able to be done, a 4th one half done, and the 5th one is just a character check. We're some 30 minutes into a hook seed.
Do you think Paradin is required? I'd say it was a good idea to do it. I'd say it was a pretty good idea.
It's within the realm of yes to it.
I'm not going to be advising that you don't.
And BadKarma is currently fighting the worst boss in all of Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise, the inventory boss.
T-Wildish does mean a bit more looting than some runners are used to, and there's enough stuff that it just accumulates.
Let's see, some coffins as well as life potions are available there in that item shop.
As well as elixirs if you're willing to splash on those. And Heroine Robe. So Battle Rosa is maybe a go.
Come on, give me a Battle Rosa. I saw an Elven Bow that was located there on Mount Ordeals. Hey, Elven Bow, Heroine Robe Rosa, let's do it. I'm ready.
And I do think BadKarma is trying to make ends meet on obtaining it. This is the downside of realizing that your inventory is full and just tossing a bunch of stuff. You don't get to sell it then.
You don't know what you want to sell because you don't know asserting dominance on the seed, selling that white lance because wants that Heroine Robe. Calling it now. Kane's going to be the character here.
Well, I mean, we've got Avenger Sword, Dragoon Spear. That's fine. It's fine.
I mean, yeah, it's fine. And I understand the theory, but I'm just calling it right now. Suka in chat is calling Barter Riot. No.
Well, hey, he did just pick up a samurai bow. That's good gear for a bard. So there's that. I don't know if he'll have a shirt to wear. So that might be a problem with, various codes of conduct.
This might be bad for EngiDave. Got the rat tail from Mount Ordeals. Has not gone back to do Antlion for the pink tail yet. So will not have objective number 3 done.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
you're looking at the other screen. Okay, good.
I'm just going to say I'm amazing.
I think it's your turn for the witchcraft. I believe.
I'm fine. It's my turn. I'm due.
Yeah, I believe last time we co-commentated, I had a bit too much of the prediction going on, and now you can have it.
It's fine. I just regret not having this kind of predictive powers when I'm running my own races. Unless finally that is coming online, in which case I'm coming for you, Classy Badger.
But yes, regardless, that is our first meaningful melee fighter, and not a moment too soon.
Yeah, we kind of needed it. We really, really needed it. And Bandana and Strength Ring, in addition to the Avenger on Kane, even at level 10, which he presently is, he'll be able to do some pretty decent damage.
Yep, and we also saw that it will be the Elements fight at the Rubicante spot. Looked vanilla, was not vanilla. We know because we saw Leg up on the mountain.
Karma going ahead and exiting out of this location probably wants to get a few more levels on his team before he begins fully diving into it. I think he's going to make one of my favorite plays, Castle Eblin. Not only
nice.
is the regular gear here very nice, there are 3 trap chests that A, can have tier 7 loot, and B, can have great experience to get you through this first part of the race. So I'm all about this.
Yeah, and honestly, if this doesn't end up feeling like enough, you've got that Twin Harp. You could lean on Kane to do that as well. Gets you an objective. Takes a little more time with the travel, but if the 3 chests here don't feel like quite enough, you can always go do that.
Meanwhile, we have Stops and the Heroine Robe, Elven Bow Rosa just squashing these mad ogres because, in addition to them being giant type, they are also, for whatever reason, mage type. And Elven Bow on mages is amazing.
Yeah, they're mad because they're mages, but they can't do any spells. And, I would be mad in that situation too. So
I like to think of them as like a Bruce Banner kind of character. Like, yeah, you're an amazing genius, like, nerd when you're not all hulked out.
I was gonna make a joke of like, oh no, they cast Angry, but that's literally what Berserk is. So that's not even a joke. That's just a spell of the game.
Yeah, it's not even a joke. It's Final Fantasy IV's equivalent of Bruce Banner having gone hulked out. Because, hey, when you steal from them, you steal Bacchus wines.
That is true. And if you have one edge and no Bacchus in shops, it's a good route to solve that problem. Was that a white shirt that we saw from that chest on BadKarma's side? Went kind of quickly.
It did go very, very quickly. I missed it. Looks like we have a prediction time for the channel. How much leg is on the hook route? Really?
We know how much leg. The real question is how much leg will we see?
Hey, and EngiDave putting that cockatrice summon to use.
Yeah.
Opening this locked treasure chest and finding a ribbon.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Kane was down at the end of it, so he did not get much in the way of XP for the fight, but the ribbon is nice to have. And hey, making use of the tools that you have on hand. You gotta respect that.
I did see BadKarma also picked up a Stardust Rod that is available here in Castle Eblin. So the castle coming through with the goods.
And indeed, BadKarma is gonna go take those extra levels obtained in Emblem Castle and head up to Troya, or yeah, uh, head up to deal with Cave Magnus.
All right, and as we head up here to Cave Magnus, if you are new to the Final Fantasy IV free enterprise community, the reason why everyone gets excited for Cave Magnus is a little Easter egg that has been programmed into the seed. So we're a randomizer community. We like to randomize things, and we also like pretty things, such as pretty harp music. But Edward was getting kind of old and slow with the same old harp music. And, for a long time, Edward was just that guy who learned the harp because he wanted to impress a girl that he's met in an oasis sometime. He only knew one song. Like, really, if you only learned one song on the harp, you're just doing it for the girls, right? So, what we've done as a community is help all pitched in, and DJ Spoony B now has a nice wide catalog of songs that he can play on his harp to make him a true musician as opposed to just a one-hit wonder.
Yep, he is now about a 200 plus hit wonder. Also, all sorts of songs from various video games. Actually, I think entirely video games. But yeah, we'll let BadKarma do the first half of this scripted fight where you have to get knocked down, and then we'll see what music we have while Dave picks up that pink tail, and it's probably going to go clear out objective number 3.
That'll be fantastic. And yeah, you're absolutely right. BadKarma here just has to get knocked down, and then he has to get up again because you're never going to keep him down.
I'm pretty sure we don't have that one, but let's find out what we do have.
Well, I think that was Donkey Kong Country 2, Hothead Hop.
Yep.
What people were saying. I thought it was something else entirely. Meanwhile, we got cut off a little bit shy, but hey, we have a Bahamut summon, so
That's what Dark Elf gets for cutting off our good music.
Dave, meanwhile, also following that particular. I don't know if his Rydia has something similar, but has at least Leviathan. Don't know if he has Bahamut or not. But continued music. That's 3 objectives down, and we're just looking for a Fusoya. By the way, we got a sand ruby.
Yeah, Fusoya could actually be at that sand ruby. Nobody has gone to Kaipo to check. We could be in go mode already, and that's terrifying.
That's actually a worst case scenario for most runners. You don't want quick go mode. You want the opportunity to, if you have mistakes, to be able to make it up, especially in a race like this where it's an elimination match. But both runners are set up very nicely. BadKarma immediately going over here. Let's give a quick encore to DK Donkey Kong Country, though. Okay, I have to interrupt the music because, yes, faux show. Fusoya was at that sand ruby. We're in coma.
Oh, there are 2 other whole overworlds in this game that they could have put key items or important characters on, and instead they did this.
Now, it's worth noting we're still not really in go mode. We still have to have our access to the moon. We don't really have a great grind either.
We haven't even been underground.
I know, this is so silly. I hope everyone, you know what, it's okay. It's okay, because even if this seed ends up finishing a little bit early, there's free enterprise going on tonight. It's okay.
Yeah, like we were saying at the start, there are plenty of races happening today. Some of them longer than others, definitely. What's our record for the shortest this tournament?
I don't know if we've had sub-hour yet, but I'll tell you what, if there was a seed that could possibly be sub-hour, this one might be it.
Yeah, you would need a very friendly King Queen Eblin fight. This party probably set up well enough to do reflect strats on the elements fight and breeze through just facing the Mylon form. We would need a rapid pass and some clever Zoroma strats. It's not impossible, but oh boy.
Yeah, at this point, we're talking sirens available. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're still only at 7 key items. So even then, like, there's validity in checking stuff until you get 10 key items. That being said, I don't think there's many opportunities left, even though we've not even been underground yet. I think the first key item we actually see is going to be a Darkness Crystal. I feel it in my bones.
Yeah, if there's a Darkness Crystal or a pass in the free Feymarch chest, that just amplifies it even further. This is the kind of seed where this is what you practice low-level Zoroma strats for. This situation in particular.
Asuka, of course, mentioning in chat, by the way, you know what character can take on Zeromus when he's still, sub 300 health? Edward, which is technically true, but Asuka, we play this game for fun, and that's not fun.
It's stressful, but it works, is the thing. Speaking of stressful, could the gentleman get out of Dave's way? NPCs, true enemies here.
So here's the Dave also gets that. He does have the pigtail, so I don't know if he's turned in the pigtail or not yet.
He has not turned it in yet. But he's going to.
Yeah, so Dave knows he's in go mode now. And here's the interesting thing, and I forgot to check this. The crystal does count as a key item. So I'm counting
Yes.
out your key items, and let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we're at 8 key items right now.
Yeah, that's enough that an incidental check is not going to bump you over to the 10 count where you get the boosted XP from all the fights. But if you're having to hunt that darkness crystal for more than a hot minute, you're probably going to hit that. But in the meantime, the King Queen Evelyn spot turns out to be Mom Bomb, which is not pleasant.
And Mom Bomb can get a little bit punchy here, and of course, Mom Bomb comes with extra HP, which always makes her a little bit more annoying in these spots that are supposed to be a little bit faster, supposed to have lower HP at that point.
Yep, but fortunately, Bahamut solves all problems. Does the big blarg, and that fight is done without even seeing the split.
Looks like I don't know if I saw it right, but it does look like Fu also had Nuke just come online.
Yep, there it is.
So, Nuke will be here, and really, I'm really disappointed in everyone who bet full leg because we already saw full leg. This is absolutely quarter leg.
We knew coming in. The real question would be if we see an actual fight where we see Rubicante, or if we do reflect strats to breeze past on just the Mylon phase. And it looks like we are going the direct route. So there's your quarter leg.
Not believe only a third of you got that right. I am not doing my job very well, if you guys didn't know that. Oh my goodness. All right, so Bahamut go Burr on BadKarma's side. Dave, to Dave's credit, is right on his tail with the crystal. This is one of those seeds that if you're newer, and EngiDave, I think, is on the newer side within our community, you're probably feeling pretty good about yourself. You're like, hey, I got the crystal. I just got to find my way up to the moon. Sub-hour, yeah, this is going to be awesome. Until you realize that the most important thing in a randomizer isn't necessarily what you do, but it's what your opponent does, especially in a one-on-one race. In this instance, Gomo this quick is bad because nothing was hidden. It was all just laid out right in front of you.
And not only is it go mode so early, it's you full clear the Earth and you have go mode. And pretty much any runner is going to do that with the way this was laid out. So you didn't get go mode early by virtue of a clever gamble or some lucky routing decision. That sort of moment you feel really good because you really showed your strength. This is one that's just like, you are going to go fast. How can you handle it?
There's an exercise that track athletes have to practice, and I know this because I used to be in shape and used to be athletic, but what they would do is attach like a stretchy bungee pole to two runners and had one person run ahead of them for resistance training, but the guy in the back who was being pulled had to make sure that their body learned how to run when they were being pulled and going faster than they are used to going. This is that position right now for these runners. I'm sure neither of them are necessarily comfortable moving this quickly through the seat, but at this point, you just kind of have to let it go and roll with it because it's where the seat's pointing you. It's just ride this way.
Yeah, and so things like seeing the menu time that our runners have spent, it's you got to do stuff for sure, but this seed is going so quickly. You need to be able to do that rapidly and make those decisions just instantly, and be okay with it being a little suboptimal. Just keep your flow going.
So Karma has set up and is doing keyless, or not keyless tower, because we got the tower key right off the bat. So not checking the freebies, but checking the statistically superior decision at this point in time, the twofer, which makes a lot of sense because, hey, if you get both key items, both the Darkness Crystal and, say, Pan, it would be the first time that you don't do the Pan ever, by the way, but...
Oh, EngiDave, I don't believe has Bahamut, so... Well, definitely right now doesn't have Iridia up to use it, so is going to go through that explode. Didn't really do anything, but now has 6 bombs to clean up.
Yeah, and the trouble is that these bombs do swing for quite a bit. So they're tearing through.
That was a 4-figure hit on Kane.
Meanwhile, Karma is over here, just going to quake through Mylan and Friends. That's up here at the top of the tower.
Oh, and Dave takes a wipe to Mom Bomb. Ouch. That Bahamut and that just blasting through before it could even explode. Huge asset for BadKarma right now.
No, absolutely. And EngiDave probably feels that might have cost him. I mean, if you're a smart runner and you know that everything was laid out for you, you feel a little bit bad, like that might have cost you the race. It's not a single thing at this point in time, though. Still plenty of time to make it up, too. One of the nice things about these quick races is it pushes people to zero miss early, and that's when mistakes happen.
Absolutely. We were mentioning as our restreamer Oscar, very much a fan of Edward. He has strong utility in certain circumstances, and this is one of them. Being able to take on Zeromus with just a lone bard and a lot of strategy. But those sorts of moves are very technical. This is a very technical seed, and that sort of stuff. You flub one bit, and you're in dire straits. And it is very easy to spend 15 minutes on a Zeromus fight and then wipe. That just feels terrible, and can easily cost you a race. But BadKarma is now cleaning up the second part of the tower, the Super Cannon room. Find D-Lunars, it's whatever. This spot has virtually no HP. Did get the tower, the Luca key from the top of tower. We'll see what he obtains from the bottom, from the tower key check. Dave's still kind of struggling with the Mom Bomb fight.
Oh, there's another explode, and that looks to be a high HP explode. Oh, low, actually.
Yeah, low enough. The problem has not been the explode. The problem has been the punches. So, I do think I saw Iridia blinking a little bit. I think it's set to a frame rate that's not incredibly obvious, but oh yeah, that's a blink. Just if you manage to get lucky, manage to get some party wides like Leviathan, I think it can squeeze through. I think doing 2k a bomb squeezes through.
Yeah, that gets you past it. Go safety save right now. BadKarma with that Luca key, that's 9 key items. That's actually crucial right at the moment, because if the 10th key item is the Darkness Crystal, that enables a grind right away. We can go shopping and be on our way.
Just getting a Dragoon Spear for now, but does have a pair of freebies. There's the Fey March check here, and there is Sheila 1.
I think in this instance now, I mean, you've done the efficient thing. Now you do the quick thing. All right, so elements over on EngiDave's side. BadKarma is going to be showing us. I think at this point you're committed with whatever party you have. You just hope you have the equipment and the firepower ready to go when you get there. And our free check in the Feymarch is just a white shirt.
I mean, it's nice to have those around when you have a mage-centric party, but it's not the key item that we needed. That is going to be the one thing that may pivot this from being more of a jet seed, is just struggling to find a darkness crystal or a pass.
Well, we have at least one free fight down here. Some guards that are located at Leviathan.
Yep, we do have the free bosses flag set up here, so bosses like the guards that are not technically bosses, you can do all sorts of status effects and all sorts of shenanigans with them, including, I mean, EngiDave could use the cockatrice summon that we used earlier, and just one-shot them.
BadKarma got it too, so
yeah.
Let's see some cockastrats here.
Oh, even better, it's officer soldiers. So this is one coffin and you're done.
Even better. This is one, if you kill the officer, the rest of the soldiers tend to, do what you're not trained to do in the military, by the way, and that's, friendly fire.
Yeah, they apparently can't tell our rather fabulously styled party from their own monotone allies, and they'll just hit themselves if they get the chance, which BadKarma did not give them the chance.
Love that extra life potion for the XP bonus, because most of the experience ended up being on that character, on that enemy, so great jump up in experience. Just the lunar staff, but the experience by itself, even when it wasn't double, that was over 50,000 experience, which is a significant gain for the levels that this party is at right now.
Yeah, the lunar staff is not a key item, but the XP is. Okay. Rubicante in the elements formation absorbs holy. I did not know that.
The more you know. Do.
The four fiends in the elements fight, they all have just a little bit of unexpected quirkiness, just thanks to how the fight is programmed and arranged. So this Valvalus, that on her own, she is kind of a rude fight. Here, her evade is so non-existent. However, Wyvern over a BadKarma screen, that's happening.
A Wyvern in the Asura spot, which is one of the fastest ones there are, but he had a Curse String Fusoya, or Curse String Tella in the middle. So got some reflex off, is in a good agility state, but the problem is, that was the Ancient, that wasn't the Avenger. So really has to do quite a bit of damage in a very short amount of time, because the nukes are going to start flying.
Yeah. And Ninja Debugger in chat actually providing good advice here. If you've got your party walled up against Wyvern and you've got Iridia, cast summons. Wyvern hates summons. It's one weird trick. And he will counter with a Mega Nuke, and as long as your walls are still up, that'll just bounce back on him.
Earth Crystal, 10 key items. One weird trick that Wyverns hate. Click here to see how.
But we'll see if the Feymarch is a trick that BadKarma will hate. We'll see if that Earth Crystal leads us anywhere. We'll see if EngiDave follows suit, as he is now through to the underground. We'll see where he decides to go.
Right now, it looks like BadKarma is doing a little bit of shopping. Mute Bells could be attractive if we're looking for a Warlock grind if we can get there. Opts not to buy any. EngiDave is going to be the first one to show us what's at this dwarf shop, though.
Hourglass 2 is pretty handy.
Yeah, but not what we were looking for. There's no sirens, which means BadKarma is coming in here and like, okay, let's check the Luca Cave. This might be our grind. We're at 10 key items now. You know, I'd settle for a door grind at this point.
Yeah, personally, I'm not always a fan of doing a door grind, just for the possibility of things going wrong. And BadKarma is certainly not committing to it just yet. But if this is the Darkness Crystal down here, it's not a terrible grind to do on your way back up. Every one of these doors, you can turn it into a trapdoor fight.
And we already have, an Avenger Kane will just go burp at that point in time and really take care of everything that you need to for a trapdoor fight, which would be amazing if everything just lines up that way. And it's feeling like it's going that direction. We have the Earth Crystal turn-in, which we have this Luca Cave check, and then we have the Dwarf Castle check. I guess we also haven't seen Sheila yet either.
Nope, have not done any of the Sheila route. But we had an incredibly jetty start, but then once we get underground, it's all just branching out.
It's kind of been the feel of this tournament so far, and Free Enterprise in general. The early game is fairly static. There's a little bit of room for movement depending on how you organize the different parts of the overworld game, but there's our Darkness Crystal. That's
wow. So the path is top of tower to sealed cave. And let's see what we have to deal with on the way out. Well, there's the guards.
I mean, really? Really? Oscar.
Not only is it free, thanks to that cursed ring, we are getting a double life glitch on the first one. So BadKarma gets to grind on this fight.
Okay, all I'm saying is that I expected to be here for a little bit longer tonight. So if anyone has anything else they're doing tonight, just let me know, because my night's going to end a little bit earlier than I expected. Just saying. But yeah, BadKarma, Darkness Crystal in hand, lots of key items. Gonna start warping, but I gotta imagine, yeah, doors are looking mighty attractive right now.
I don't think BadKarma is interested, though. No, if he was, that was the time to start proving it. He's gonna find some other grind to make his way. That Darkness Crystal, again, that opens up any sort of moon grind. So Warlocks, Ryus, those are your two main options. You may be thinking, just take one of those, since I know I have to go to the moon now. I don't have the pass, at least in hand.
Yeah, the issue, however, is that we've not yet seen sirens. We do have a moon shop yet to check. We know it's not going to be here in Dwarf Castle, but correct me if I'm wrong, but we're not guaranteed sirens. So
I believe that is the case, yes. And EngiDave using Cockatrice again to good effect. I would have sworn he had coffins on hand, but if you got that available, you might as well make it useful.
And while BadKarma gets set up to head over to the moon and EngiDave finishes off this fight, I do give a shout out to the Restream team behind the scenes. Of course, Oscar424, rolling just a magnificent seed that is going to make me recheck the refill of my heart medicine, because my goodness, this is giving me anxiety just watching it. But also Rumblefish82 for the tracking and pushing the buttons behind the scenes. And all the work the entire community does behind the scenes. It's just always fantastic. Big shout out to everyone in the community.
Yeah, and big shout out to our runners, BadKarma and EngiDave. I think Vitasia, you're right. This is a stressful seed to be participating in, so they deserve a bit of love just for getting dealt this hand, and I think so far putting on a good show for getting through it. BadKarma definitely, more progress, more advantage on that front. You gotta love the cockatrice strats. You never see that, but it's working for Dave, so.
I mean, just, hey, make do with what you got. That's the point of these randomizer speed races. It's not muscle memory. It's about making do with the toolkit that you got.
And yes, we have seen coffins available through treasure chests and all that, so there are other routes to do what Dave has been doing. That's not always the case. Not every seed is going to give you every tool. BadKarma seeing there's Bacchus at the moon shop, but no sirens. So yeah, building those skills to do alternate plans. It's good skill to build.
Real quick, while this is loading up, I am predicting a yawn on the moon. I'm just going to put that out there right now to test my witchy skills.
Nope, it's the Lunar Ninja.
Wrong martial artist. Okay, that's fine. All right, so BadKarma is leaving. Did he pick up the edge?
Nope.
Because that would have been a solution to not having an edge or not having sirens, is picking up the edge. We can
it would have. That would be, a little bit of a time commitment, but that is your only way to get sirens now, it turns out. So, guess you're going without. Actually, are sirens one of the things that can show up in Kokol's Forge shop, or is that just equipment?
I think it's a super, super low percentage.
Okay.
Not worth banking
Well,
on.
certainly. But it's the difference between definitely not in this seed and probably not in this seed.
So it looks like Karma's actually setting up for maybe just a boss grind, saying, hey, I got the key items to get double XP. I have an Avenger Cane and a Fu who can cast nukes, so I can get through whatever I need to get through. It's not a bad gamble. My only concern is a lot of the freer bosses that are out there, we've already seen. Like, we've seen guards and we've seen typo guards. Water Hag is still out there, but there's a lot of nastiness that could be up here as well.
Yeah, and I'll also point out, he went past the first boss location entirely. He might actually... You're going out of your way to open that chest. You're looking for the trap chests here. There are behemoths, there are red dragons, there are some rude fights that give a lot of XP.
There are a lot of rude fights that give a lot of XP. You also have a cane with a Dragoon Spear that can just kind of go there.
Yeah, this might be the play.
Hey, thank you, Jenica Strife, for the raid. Big shout out to you supporting the community.
Yeah, to catch folks up on what has happened, we cleared the overworld and got go mode in about 35 minutes. And since then, it's been finding a way to the moon and to our levels. And BadKarma has found that darkness crystal by way of the sealed cave, by way of the top of tower. EngiDave has not gone and done the tower, so does not have those last pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah, and I mean, BadKarma is just making work. That red dragon went down quick. Blue dragon also went down quick, and that's a chunk of HP.
Oh yeah.
There.
I'm also noticing BadKarma went and checked the pots at the front of the Lunar Palace. EngiDave doing the same over here in the Dwarven Village. Did we get any camping gear at all?
I mean, there were cabins. I'm sure I've seen cabins around.
It hasn't like registered in my mind until I'm seeing our runners not using any of them.
Meanwhile, yeah, BadKarma is doing this trap chest grind. This is an unusual grind. This is not something you see every day. You know, a lot of runners prefer something more consistent and less questionable, because these are fights that you can set up for it a little bit, but it's not an easy setup. So you don't see it terribly frequently. It's not quick.
Yep, and as someone who plays a fair amount of K-Trap, where these fights could have key items, in this flag set, they're just your only source of tier 7 equipment. Even if you are hunting them down and are like higher level prepared for this kind of stuff, like the red giants, the red dragons, they can beat up your party hard. So even preparation is not necessarily enough to get you through some of this.
Yeah, absolutely true. Dave, meanwhile, top of the tower, going to be doing his Mylan fight at this point. Karma continuing his grind, checking all the treasure chests. You know, this was my favorite part of the vanilla game, but this is my least favorite part of the randomizer, having to check all these treasure chests.
Yeah. I mean, this is the final dungeon. This is the end game. This is where all the good stuff is going to be. That room with the crystal mail, that's where the pink puffs are. That's where you get your adamant armor. So yeah, playing this vanilla, there's great stuff here. Playing the randomizer, there's pretty good stuff in a lot of places. And this is just, if you get the pass, you love not having to be here at all.
And ironically, Karma is not finding, like, he's only had 2 trap chests opening everything between the gate and going through there. In the low 40s, it'd be tight right now doing Zero Must, but doable.
Up is going to dip into the ribbon room first. Try and get one last fight in.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and what a fight. Well, I mean, I guess we can call this a fight technically.
And even getting a life glitch off on a double life glitch.
Yep. And that Curse Ring Tella is slowing down the Dark Imps so much.
I'm sickened. Oh my goodness. This is... let me...
Exactly enough coffins to finish the fight.
That was literally as fast as you could plan it right there. And you got 400,000 experience.
Yeah, look, that was white on Rosa, I believe. Hey, there's a package.
No, Oscar, I'm not asking why can't I get a seed like this, because this is a type of seed that lays out go mode for you just wide open, and like gilded path to the moon in Zero Miss. these are the types of seeds that really, in most one-on-one races, it's the most technically proficient person who's going to win. It's going to be the person who menus the fastest, who knows the fights best, who knows the agility breakpoints that you're going through. This kind of seed requires technical knowledge to be able to finish and finish quickly over your opponent. Most randomizers, the reason why I like it is because there's a little bit more randomization into it. A good gamble can make the difference between a race. These sorts of jet seeds, though, are very technical reliant, and a single error can make you lose a race.
Well, there is still room for errors. That's the sentence I wanted to say. As BadKarma is headed towards the Zeromus fight, we are seeing the flags out. Folks know the deal. There's a good, 526? Quite a few sprites that Zeromus could be looking like once BadKarma uses that crystal. So at battle speed 3, our levels hovering right around 50. Only an hour 13 in. Whose butt are we gonna kick? Try to kick? Successfully kick? Who knows?
I mean, it's still not a gimme fight, but we're doing very well for an hour 13 in, all things said. So this should be fun. Our dead Tella has been doing great work. We have one melee fighter in Kane who's just kind of gonna do his thing. But otherwise, we have and Rosa, I guess, has been a Zerker as well all this race.
I mean, BadKarma did swap her out to White Robe and Lunar Staff, so she is set up to be more of a healer. I have to feel like Reflect strats are going to happen with Kane, Go and Burr, just as a boost. Let's see, who is it going to be this evening?
Its true colors emerged.
And those are some true colors indeed.
Danomus. I was always more of a Ken user myself. But Dan gets a nuke over on a Fusoya who survives it, so we already have one Big Bang that's nerfed, and Karma is set up very, very nicely for this fight.
Meanwhile, EngiDave did obtain the Legend Sword from the Sheila 1 check, I believe, and actually cashed that in to get the Kokol shop. Saw some silver apples, some defense sword, decent stuff, but no sirens, and nothing that is really going to overwhelm the situation. So he still has to go and do Sealed Cave to get actual go mode.
The moon is 100% haunted. We were in go mode, before we even got to the underworld, and even then, an easy check in the underworld finished it off.
Yeah, not anyone's favorite check. There's vanishingly few people who love Sealed Cave, but it turned out to not be a difficult one to do. That was a pretty solid Big Bang nerf over on BadKarma's side, only hitting for 800 some on this party.
Well, Tella's doing what we brought him to do: take a bit of a nap. Even getting some white reflex offs, in addition to viruses and nukes. This is just fantastic. He's set up incredibly well. Even swinging with Kane with an Avenger. So telling me he's not really even set up or hoping to do the weird sort of reflect strats trick. He's just committed to doing as much damage as he can.
Yep, those tricks are based on the... so this being a Super Nintendo game, numbers only get so big. Zeromus' health is too big. So there is a refill portion of the script that only actually activates with a direct hit. So if you do pure, true reflect strats, you will be able to cut Zeromus' health down about in half. But if you're doing just big enough numbers with your physical hits, you kind of don't care.
It's just whatever. I'll power through this. He even pulled out a Sura to heal.
I love it. I unironically love it. And Dave is doing a door grind. Not hitting up every single one, but is hitting up the ones on the way, if nothing else.
Well, I think the difference for Dave is that he has 10 key items on his way down, so he's getting double XP.
Yeah.
Karma was not yet at that 10 key item spot, I don't believe, or got the 10 key items with the Darkness Crystal, but then still warped out. Of course, burning that elixir there. Fu does have a smaller magic pool, so he tends to run out of MP on any extended fight. It's either be done with them fast or prepare to have to use some MP items on him.
Yeah, and I mean, it's the final fight of the game. Use your consumable items. You're not taking them with you.
No, that elixir is going to stay until I really need it. There's extra bonus content. There'll be DLC that I can carry my character over, right? Meanwhile, Rydia, this is interesting because Rydia is not really going to be doing a whole lot of damage due to not having nuke, just relying on viruses. Instead, is making sure food stays online, throwing potions, the elixirs, the ethers, making sure the food stays constantly powered up. That's not a bad use for that Rydia.
And of course, Zeromus is one of those fights where you don't really want to be doing a direct summon attack. It has specific counters in place for that. And we have better ways of doing substantial direct damage, so we'll stick with those.
Rydia is also being used as a healer, doing a Sura, but was that? Yeah,
that's Greyface. So hey, maybe Tella can do an action.
Oh, can you use a Cure 3, please? Something. All right, that'll be a full heal, so maybe Tella will do something. Or maybe there'll be death almost immediately.
I don't know, but that really demonstrates how strong of a summon Ashura is. Getting the entire party healing for like 5,000-6,000. That's an incredible amount. That's unnecessary.
I mean, honestly, I'm starting to prefer Iridia over traditional White Mage and Rosa and Forum in my parties when I'm setting up for endgame, because she's still useful with nukes or with viruses and other things. Meanwhile, BadKarma, Flash Bang, does finish off Danomus. We'll get an official time here in a second, but it sounds like BadKarma has joined us in the booth.
Yep. First place, official time, 1 hour, 21 minutes, 18 seconds. BadKarma, if you can hear us, GG on that run.
Hey, thank you. That was, oh man, that was a little nerve-wracking.
I expected it was a little stressful, having go mode before you even see the underground.
Oh, and I don't know if you caught it. I had to check the tracking menu before I went into battle. I was like, I should have the crystal right now, right? And I totally forgot I got it after that foo.
Yep. Yeah, there was a period where you're just hunting down a 10th key item, and along with the darkness crystal. Unfortunately, that all kind of came together to actually like make a meaningful grind work out.
Yeah, and I'm like, I really hope sirens are on the moon. I really hope sirens are on the moon. Oh, they're not on the moon.
Nope.
Time to get cheeky here.
Hey, what prompted that? We were wondering. You were in Luca Cave, had just got your 10th key item, thought maybe I'll do a door grind on the way out. Instead, opted for the trap chest grind. Was it hoping for sirens and then just like, well, it's not here. I'll make do.
100% that. Because with how this seed played out, I'd actually watched back a couple of EngiDave's previous races, and he was routing really well. So I just thought, he'd be right there lockstep with me. I was like, I got to go fast. And I know one thing that most people wouldn't think of in that situation is to go pick trap chests with a Dragoon Spear Cane, with an Avenger, Bahamut, Rydia with Stardust, and Heroine Robe Rosa. I wasn't even worried about the double dragon chest. I was actually hoping to get it and try to get a life glitch off of there. It just didn't happen because I killed him so fast.
Yeah, it was something to see, honestly. I think you taught everyone a little something about how nice those trap chests can be. I think at one point you got some life glitches off. There was one of those fights. Oh, it was the final guards fight, actually, where you got 400,000 experience. Like, okay, I'm set.
Yeah, I wasn't going out of my way looking for trap chests. I was just going to get the ones that were really quick and easy until I couldn't find one at first. Like, oh, now I got to kind of go out of my way. And then I got to the bottom. I was like, okay, I'm going to have to check this ribbon room. I'm a little bit low level for comfort. I want to get Rosa a little bit more buffer. And then Dark Imps popped up. I was like, well, I have some coffins and lives for you guys.
Yeah, perfect amount of coffins. So that was a huge deal. Yeah, that was very strong execution on just a very interesting setup that you were forced into.
Yeah, that seeing the cane and then seeing that elements, because we'd already seen Rubicon bearing in. I was like, oh man, that's not a terrible hook route, but at the same time, it's like, what if Magma Key's at that twin harp? And so that was eating at me, and it's like, I don't want to take a base cane up there, even with an Avenger. So I'll back him out. We'll hit Eblin Castle, get a little XP, and then we'll be strong enough to take the Twin Harp. And getting that, and then getting the Sand Room is like, well, this is now becoming really easy. So
yeah, that was another like cheeky trap chest grind, hitting up Eblin Castle, which is a very easy location to forget about, certainly on this flag set where there's often no reason to go.
yeah, I figured with an Avenger, I sold the farm to get that Heroine Robe, so my agility was going to be pretty good. I was like, maybe I'll just get something. I didn't even expect anything, honestly, and then getting a Stardust Rod, getting a Bahamut Summon, I was like, now I'm pretty set here. And then, like I said, doing a Twin Harp and getting a Foo, I was really set then.
Yeah, that Bahamut was definitely powering a fair amount of your seed. That was a very strong find. But this now puts you at 2-2. You're staving off, worrying about getting booted from the second phase for another week. What's your level of anxiety about the tournament overall?
So high. Because going into this, my one win was the bye in week 1, so I didn't even play anybody till week 2, and I got a couple of really good draws there, and so now I'm back to a 2-2 spot where everybody's fighting to stay alive. So anxiety definitely really high, but everybody's been great. Everybody's fantastic in this tournament. Rando's gonna rando, and anybody can win a match. And this is actually my first place ever.
Hey, you take it.
So hopefully I can string a couple more together and maybe get into the bracket. Who knows? I don't know.
Well, if nothing else, you've demonstrated some strong knowledge of the game, and of I'll agree a little bit of good luck getting that Bahamut, but I think you would have managed to pull through a lot of those fights even without it. So GG's again on that front. Vatasia, anything else you want to cover with Bad Karma?
Oh, just GG's on a race well run. These are the seeds that some people love and some people just get anxiety over. I think I'm in the later half, and just very well run race, showing us all different sorts of stuff. So fantastic race, Karma.
I appreciate it, and thank you to Alska for rolling this fantastic seed. And Rubblefish, hopefully I gave you enough buttons to click and light up. Vatasia Huffin, look forward to watching this back and seeing the perplexing comments I hopefully caused. And thank you to everybody out there watching. We can be up here and talk and play all we want, but if nobody's going to watch us, so do appreciate everybody coming out.
Yeah, we appreciate you and EngiDave being willing to be restreamed and show folks this lovely experience.
Experience is the right word, that's for sure. Well, I will. I'm gonna kick back and cheer EngiDave on to victory, and hopefully he gets through the rest of the seed.
All right, well, thank you, Bad Karma. And yes, indeed, EngiDave is continuing this door grind. Did obtain that Darkness Crystal, and is just now making sure he gets enough levels. It's largely gone okay, but this particular fight is starting to get a little bit away from him as he's focusing on that disrupt wall strategy.
Yeah, that can be a little bit difficult. Yeah, and missed a disrupt there. That's the problem with the disrupt strategy. I would much rather just have Venger Kane go at this point. It's a lot cleaner.
Yeah, the disrupt is missing where he wants it to hit and hitting where he wants it to miss. At this point, I guess you just kind of let it grind down and hope that your wall is still up when it does loop around. So Fridia gets all the XP there. That's fine. She has one of the roughest XP curves anyway, so she could use the boost. But that's about the point that I would call it. I would probably stop here. I think it's gotten scary enough.
All right. Looks like Dave is done with the grind at this point in time, on his way out.
Yep, so his party is kicking a little under level 50 at the moment, a bit lower than where Bad Karma was for his Roma's fight. Still perfectly doable, but you're running on a weaker setup overall in that situation. But looks like he is going to go raise the Lunar Whale. There's a free heal in here, so you can clean up your party after that point. We'll see if he bothers to do any Lunar Grind, or if he's just straight off to the races trying to get the Z fight down.
I get the sense that Dave is done leveling because there were a lot of doors that he could have gone but didn't. At the same time, it might be because he had a rough time with one of those doors and said, let's do something easier. There's a few different possibilities. We do know there is at least one easy boss fight that can net a ton of experience up here at that ribbon location, with Bad Karma showing us just the two guards. So there's a possibility for some easy levels if Dave ends up checking that. We'll see what he does.
Yep, that'd be another good opportunity to use that cockatrice summon. You've got it. You've shown its strength thus far. You might as well ride it out to the end.
Look, I really enjoy cockatrice strats. There's just something that's so niche about it, but it's like it works. When it works, and it's fantastic.
You never see anyone riding that glorious bird to victory.
Good on so many different things.
Yeah, that's Dave getting the bad/good news that there are no sirens in the seed. I would feel a little bad if I did all that door grind and then sirens were up here. That would just be like, oh, I took a slightly dangerous route that I didn't need to.
All right, so Dave now getting the first news in the seed that this is an edge. This is kind of unfortunate because you get the sense if you're desperate for a grind, man, that edge would have come in handy about half an hour ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason Nellis, welcome back. And you clearly missed a very fast seed. We had, effectively go mode, sub 40 minutes. We hadn't even gone into the underground yet at this point in time. And it became just a race to the moon and a race to levels. It was very fast. And BadKarma put on a clinic, to be perfectly frank. Not that EngiDave has had a poor run by any stretch. He's also been kind of right there at times in lockstep with BadKarma. It's just little things here and there can make all the difference.
Yeah, I have to imagine that that one wipe on Mom Bomb, regardless of the time it took, knowing that this is a jet seed, that your hook route is your only way underground, you know how important this fight is. It's got to be a bit stressful to take a wipe on that. That has to make you feel more behind.
Yeah, it all just happened so quickly. Absolutely. And knowing what we know now, just, my goodness, these are the kinds of seeds that you don't have a break. You don't have a second to collect your thoughts while you kind of mindlessly walk from one place to another. There's no time. You have to constantly be thinking about what you're doing.
I mean, we didn't even see, we didn't see Golbez. We didn't see any of the bosses that kind of bake in a little breather, or at least a little bit of downtime. I didn't see Water Hag either, which is a very mindless fight. For all the freebies we had, we still had to pay attention during them.
It's true. Oh, Dark Imp's here. No insta-kill spells, though, on Dave's side. No coffins.
Nope, there's coffins.
Okay.
Yeah, holding on to 6 of them, which is 3 more than you need now. And really 6 more than you need if you're willing to lead into that cockatrice strat.
Keep his party up to gain the benefits of all of this experience. Looks like his Tela isn't quite slow enough, so only getting single life off. Not that that's bad, but just had the way BadKarma had it set up, he was able to get those double lives off, which was a huge boon.
Yeah, I have to feel that's more that BadKarma's remainder of the party was faster rather than Tela being, because I have to imagine both of their Telas are agility 1. Slapping that curse ring on, you're good. It takes him forever to get to agility 2, and when he does, it almost feels like an insult.
Oh yeah, that Tela's, yeah.
But
Meanwhile,
this is looking like Zeroma's gearing.
yep, absolutely getting set up. It's worth it. If you're at this point in the race, the worst thing that can happen is a wipe on Zeromus. So taking an extra second or two, just double checking your equipment, can absolutely pay off, especially if you've done a lot of gear swapping. We've had a lot of Avengers swapping off and on of Canes. We've had Rosas go from Zerkers to casters. So just double checking the equipment, making sure everything's in place. Not a bad idea.
Yep, and at this point, EngiDave is fully aware that he has come in second in this race, so you want to kind of solidify your position. You know it's not going to make a huge difference. Give yourself the breathing room. Make sure you get through that fight cleanly, and you can call it a day.
Yep, let's all listen to Oscar and chat, everyone. Everyone, let's give your good luck and energy. I believe, Dave. So getting everything set up, getting ready to toss the crystal here. And so Zeromus becomes Danomus. This always made me uncomfortable as a kid. Because, spoiler alert, my father's real name is Dan and my name is Ken. In real life. So it was always like, really, we have to go there.
Well, that's just awkward.
Meanwhile, bouncing whites, which is great. Did I know a Ryu? No, I did not know a Ryu. Although my mother's name is Barbie, so.
Yeah, see, this is where I wanted to jump in and like make a joke of a similar situation, but with a female character with an incredibly fantasy name. But the first one I can think of is Zelda. Like there's been real women in history named Zelda. There's real people named Zelda. It's not a good enough joke.
Yeah, there really are women named Zelda. Robin Williams named his daughter Zelda.
Yeah. F. Scott Fitzgerald's wife was Zelda.
Meanwhile, nukes abound. Iridia with a nuke. Yeah, this is going to go quite quickly. at the first black hole. That does take away a reflected character, so we'll have to reset it up. Does reset out of it. Not comfortable with the setup.
Yeah, I suspect that was, things just moving a little too fast for comfort, which is understandable.
Yeah, might lower that battle speed down to 3 or something. That might make things go a little bit smoother. Because I don't think it was necessarily a bad setup, but it did feel a little bit out of control. So on his way down, I'm gonna give it another try after setup.
Yeah, we'll know pretty quickly if this is going to work out better. If the pacing of all of Zeromus's actions are a bit friendlier this time.
Yeah, absolutely. Lower battle speed. This will help things out quite a bit. Will take a little bit longer, but it's not worth another wipe at this point.
Throwing that slow out on Zero. Did we even find silk webs?
I don't think we had the opportunity to check too many shops because it was just done.
Yeah.
The whole scene was just, by the way, you're done now. Just a reminder for chat, if everyone wants to stick around here, after we'll give EngiDave a second for some interviews, but we will be throwing you after the interview over to Randomania 4 for a current ongoing match, Castro versus Scythe Marshall. Both of them are 2-1. So stick around here and we'll just throw you automatically over there.
Yep, and Oscar bring up in chat the sites with all of the league information. We are in week 4 of the Swiss rounds, the 6-week Swiss round. That's the sentence I wanted to go with. We got there. And of course, after that is the actual, the bracket stages. The flag set will be tweaked a little bit and should be, some interesting competition over the next coming weeks. So stay tuned to the Free Enterprise channel, well, the main channel, the Randomania family of channels. They've been very kindly letting us use their space as we've been here. There's plenty going on in this tournament.
Oh no, Big Bang. Don't know. Okay, he did get the nerf off.
Yeah, that was nice and manageable. And going with some reflected nukes.
Knew that the black hole was coming, so waited to get everyone to heal. I like that.
Unfortunately, King getting a bit knocked down.
He gets knocked down, but look, he's up again. Wait, I already made that joke.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything, but
I hate myself. I'm sorry. I want to apologize to chat. That was unprofessional of me, making the same joke twice. I'm sorry.
I think I would prefer that to the joke that Oscar is making in chat. That for the sake of folks watching later on in the VOD or on YouTube, we will not repeat.
Yeah, it is not. No, I won't give her the satisfaction. You hear that, Oscar? I won't give you the satisfaction.
See, she can't get no satisfaction.
Oh, meanwhile, a bad Big Bang.
Oh yes, but pulling out that elixir, that is a lifeline in this fight.
Got viruses going. That does mean still in the first phase. And of course, doing the reflect strats, you're trying to stay in the first phase, but that virus is generally an indication that you're not doing enough damage to really keep up with Zero script otherwise. That's the very end of his rotation. And usually by now you're supposed to be in the second phase at least. So moving a little bit slow here.
Yeah, but that said, if you can keep things moving, then keep your party picked up when those waves do come. Never mind. That is a solid reflect strat apparently, because that is a GG.
Well done, Engimus. It clutched it out at the end. We'll see if EngiDave is available to us for a quickie interview. And I think that is Dave joining us now. GG's.
Dave, can you hear us? We cannot hear you.
All right. Well, we'll see what's going on with Dave in particular here. This does finish up this seed. Like we said, we'll be sending things over here to Randomania 4 here. We'll see if we can get Dave for a few quick comments, but otherwise we'll be sending everyone over to Randomania 4. Castro versus Scythe Marshall just started not that long ago, maybe less than an hour.
We're just making sure Dave can actually hear us and communicate and all of that. Kind of hard to do an interview if you can't hear the person talking to you.
Is this thing working now?
It's working
Hey!
now. Hello.
You guys.
Can you hear us? Well, technology, y'all.
That's how it happens sometimes, you know, that these setups can be a little bit complicated here and there. It's not always easy, which really just tells the tale of how important the work that all the folks behind the scenes do. One last shout out, by the way, for that behind the scenes team, Oscar424 for the restream and Rumblefish82 for the tracking. It's the behind the scenes stuff most folks don't see, but they do so much work behind the scenes to help make everything possible. Big shout out to those folks.
All right, I think we have Dave available. Do you hear us? Still not working.
Okay, I got an idea.
Can you hear us?
Not through Discord, but I just went to the stream. I can hear you this way.
You know, we'll make that work. We'll say GG's on that run. That was definitely a stressful one for a lot of folks watching. We understand how difficult jet seeds can be, and I want to give props to using cockatrice strats, which you never see, and as well as the door grind, which you almost never see. So, regardless of your time on this, just props for doing the esoteric plays and proving that they work.
Honestly, I thought coffins. I forgot about them, and I realized I had cockatrice summon.
Well, I mean, it works. You know, it's anything that is vulnerable to coffins is almost always going to be also vulnerable to that stone, and you made do. So props to that, and props for getting through what was at times like rather rude, and like I said, just generally rather stressful, being a jet seed like that.
Oh, thank you for that.
So we don't have a whole lot of time, so I want to just give you the opportunity, open-ended, overall thoughts on just everything in this particular seed and or in the tournament now.
Well, on the seed itself, first, the Oops All Mages start was interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely its own brand of scary.
Yeah. And honestly, the tournament's been fun so far. This is my first time doing any sort of speed run event.
Well, I tell you what, Dave, you know, yeah, you got it. I think we've all been at that first, you know, this is the first tournament spot that, you know, all of us in the community have been there. It's nothing but getting better from here. I promise you that. All right. With that, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here. Remember, big shout out one last time to both of our runners, BadKarma and EngiDave. Uh, Great work there. Again, to our restream team, Oscar and Rumblefish, and of course my co-commentator Hupfit. It's the second time in a row I'm working with you, and I'm having more and more fun every time.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know who's responsible for this, but I appreciate it. Glad to work with you, Vitasia, and glad to have all of you here watching these races here on Randomania 2. Like we said, we will be sending you over. I left the details for what the race is.
Randomania 4. It is Castro versus Scythe Marshall.
Yes.
They're both 2-1, so not at elimination point yet, but absolutely going to be a solid race to watch.
Yep. So we'll send you all over there, and yeah, that does it for us. Have a lovely rest of your evening, everybody, and adios.
United.
I would like to say thank you to everyone for hosting us.